Squarespace is constantly on the move, adding new features and upgrades almost on the daily. But possibly the most buzzworthy of recent updates is their new membership site building feature, aka member areas. This has been on the wish list of Squarespace designers for years, and in today's video, we are going to take a look at just how well it stacks up against the tried and true platforms it's hoping to replace. But no matter where you decide to host your members only content, if you want to be able to sell your membership subscriptions on autopilot, you're going to need a site that is set up to sell. So I want to give you exclusive access to my most popular free training where I share all the design tweaks, client psychology, and online sales strategies that you need to increase the sales of any product or service, including membership subscriptions. You can sign up for instant access to the free training here, or I'll also link that in the description below for you. So before we get started comparing the pros and cons of these platforms, let's quickly get on the same page about exactly what a membership site is. Simply put, you have two types of content on your site. You have the public pages of your website that anyone can access, i.e. your homepage, about page, shop, blog, etc., and the content that lives behind a wall where a password or login is needed to access the page. So a membership site is really just a website where you have some sort of information or content you want to limit access to. This can be a free membership site or login area, like creating an online bulletin board for members of your nonprofit organization or a student portal for your school. Or you can create a paid membership site where users have to pay to gain access to content like a VIP blog, videos, downloadable PDFs, coaching resources, course materials, etc. Paid memberships can be on a renewing subscription basis where your loyal members can pay a monthly fee to access new, fresh content that gets added by you each month, i.e. a meal planning membership or fitness program. Or you can use a one-time payment or payment plan purchase option where the member is paying for lifetime access to a protected piece of content, i.e. an online course or an ebook. So the type of software you need to make your membership site happen really does depend on what you plan to offer on your membership site. In today's video, we'll do a side-by-side of the top features found in the new Squarespace members area versus a more dedicated LMS, which is a learning management system like Teachable, to see which platform is better suited to your goals for your membership site. So let's look at what it takes to get started with either platform. When you first create your account with Teachable, you're automatically given a free 14-day trial to access all the features in their professional plan. No credit card deets needed. But if you want to start enrolling students, which is what Teachable calls members, then you will need to pay to upgrade. The same is true in Squarespace. When you create your account, you're given a 14-day free trial, which again allows you to access even premium features without having to type in your billing info. But if you want your site to go live, you'll need to pay to play. There's one difference to note. Your free trial is technically for your whole Squarespace site, not just your members area. So once that 2 weeks is up, in order to be able to keep editing and building out the members part of your site, you're going to have to upgrade to a paid Squarespace plan. Once you have upgraded to a paid Squarespace subscription, you can take as long as you want to build out your member area. Then when you're ready to launch it to the world and start accepting members, you'll need to pay for a separate member area plan since this is not included with your regular Squarespace subscription. So how much will that set you back? Whether you use Squarespace's built-in member area or host your content externally on a platform like Teachable, you can't really get around needing a website for your business. So the cost to maintain your actual Squarespace site stays the same, and either way, you'll be paying extra to get your membership area up and running. So let's compare those pricing plans and tiers, shall we? Heads up, these do change from time to time, so be sure to check their pricing page for the most up-to-date pricing. So when you pay annually, Teachable's plans range from $29 to start all the way up to $249 depending on your needs, whereas Squarespace member area ranges from $9 to $35. So at first glance, Squarespace definitely seems like the better deal, right? But before you let your pocketbook do the deciding, you'll need to dust off your crystal ball and gaze into the future to ask yourself, will you be creating more than one type of membership? Teachable allows you to create unlimited courses or members area with even their basic plan, whereas members area in Squarespace, there's a cap on how many separate member areas you can create. So if you can get away with all your membership content living behind the same wall, then Squarespace members area starter plan might be all you need. Will your transaction fees end up costing you more than upgrading in the long run? A 7% transaction fee on top of whatever payment processor fee you're paying ends up being a pretty sizable chunk of your earnings. The transaction fee for purchases made through Squarespace members areas does go down as you move up in tiers, but depending on how many memberships you plan to sell, a 0% transaction fee offered in Teachable's Pro or Business plan might end up making all the difference. Price is definitely a major deciding factor when you're starting out in your business, but since feature-wise these two softwares were not exactly created equal, we will need to compare more than just the price to see which is the right fit. So let's take a look at some other things to be considering when deciding where to host your membership site. If you've already built a site on Squarespace, then building out the pages of your members area should come fairly easily to you. Once a member area is added to your site, you can add pages, sections, and content blocks as usual. You can even add collection pages like a blog or portfolio page if it helps you better organize your membership content. So no need to learn a new platform to get your membership site up and running. Thankfully, Teachable also has a pretty tame learning curve when it comes to adding content to the platform. Even though it's considered an online course building platform, you can easily use it to build out any type of membership content. Each course would be considered a separate member area in Teachable, and each course can be broken down into sections like categories or modules, and then your content is added to those sections by creating lectures. The lecture builder is pretty basic compared to the options you have for adding content blocks in Squarespace, but when creating my Square Secrets and Square Secrets business courses inside Teachable, I never felt limited by the type of content I could add to the page. One thing that could be a deciding factor for you is whether the focus of your membership site is going to be a VIP blog. You could technically create a workaround by adding each new blog post or article as a new lecture, but there's no way to add a dedicated blog page to your Teachable membership site like there is in Squarespace members areas. This is where things get a teensy bit awkward. With Teachable, you just upload the video straight to the page and it's ready for members to hit play. But with Squarespace members areas, videos will first need to be uploaded to a third-party video hosting service like Vimeo or YouTube before using a video content block to embed them on your page. So you're either looking at yet another paid subscription to host your videos on Vimeo, or serving your members unwanted ads and irrelevant video recommendations at the end of your video when using YouTube. So as you move up in pricing plans, Teachable does give you more and more control over how your membership site will look, giving you a handful of fonts to choose from, adding in your custom color codes, and doing away with Teachable's own branding. But when it comes to brand consistency, Squarespace is the clear winner here. With Squarespace, your membership area can be built to look and feel exactly like your website's non-membership pages, and there's more room for playing with layout and design without reaching for developer mode or custom code. So when it comes to making membership pages, Teachable is definitely a tad more textbook-ish in its presentation. Here's where Teachable takes the cake when it comes to getting your content on the page. Say you have a PDF file you'd like to share with your members and you go ahead and upload it inside your lecture. You now have the option of whether to make the PDF downloadable or whether members would need to be logged in to view it. Whereas with Squarespace members areas, when a file is uploaded, it will be stored at a random custom URL in Squarespace land, and when a member clicks your download button, they now technically have a link to your files that they can share anywhere. Say you plan to use your membership area to take members on a journey. The first week, you want them to focus on nailing the basics without being tempted to skip ahead and potentially miss out on some super important steps along the way. Drip releasing, or releasing content bit by bit to your members based on when they signed up, is a fabulous way to help members get the most of your membership and really be intentional about implementing whatever it is they're paying for access to. It helps members to stay engaged and feel like there is constantly added value compared to just logging in once, piecemealing bits of your content, and then tuning you out until the next month or even unsubscribing altogether. With Teachable, you can choose to drip release content or set dates for all members or a certain period of time from when the member first signed up, even creating an automated email to alert members of new available content. With Squarespace member areas, you would have to manually publish all pages based on when you want them to go live inside the member area, and there's no way to personalize the experience based on when a member signed up. Members wouldn't know what to expect in terms of future content like they would if they could visualize upcoming modules that would be released to them. Okay, so say you have multiple products or services that you offer on your membership site and you want to be able to sell access to them in tiers or in bundles, i.e. silver, gold, and platinum memberships, where the higher tier memberships might include everything the lower ones do, along with some extra bonuses and perks. So let's look at what it would take to be able to group together separate offerings into one purchase or membership subscription. With Teachable, you can create what are called bundles, where you can throw together as many of your courses or separate membership areas as you want and sell them all for one price. Anyone who purchases that bundle now has access to all the appropriate member areas without you having to duplicate and rebuild that content. With Squarespace Members area still being newer, unfortunately, there's no way to bundle up your membership offerings or for you to be sharing your content across different membership subscriptions. So if you want a bit of content appearing in your silver, gold, and platinum level memberships, you need to duplicate and build out that content in 3 separate places. And if later you need to update your content, you're having to do that in 3 separate places as well. Along the lines of what we were just talking about with sharing content across multiple membership areas or tiers, another important thing to consider is the ability to create pricing variants. So say I have a launch of my new membership mentoring program where if members sign up before a certain date, they can take advantage of early bird pricing. With Squarespace members areas, you can currently only set one price per membership. So if you wanted to have an early bird price, you'd have to make use of coupons rather than just automatically applying at checkout. With Teachable, you can create as many different payment options and pricing plans as you want for each membership area or course. So if you wanted to offer an early bird price, a regular price, or even complimentary access to the first 10 people who enroll, then you have that option without relying on coupons or duplicating content to create the same membership area at the different price point. This is also an extremely handy for tracking sales brought in from all different places you're marketing your business. You can create unique checkout links for each platform you send traffic to your site to be able to see exactly where your marketing efforts and dollars are paying off. When it comes to checkout pages, Squarespace members areas definitely makes you rein it in compared to Teachable. With Squarespace, you just have one checkout page for your whole site, meaning if you make changes to it, it's going to affect the checkout page people see for your regular shop page or services page as well. Whereas with Teachable, you can create new custom checkout page for every single course or membership area on your site. So which is better? Well, checkout page best practices tend to be a teensy bit of a gray area. On the one hand, you want as few distractions for your customer as possible on their way to the Buy Now button. On the other hand, it can sometimes make sense to include short testimonials or FAQs to help get those last few fence sitters off the fence and ready to commit. So it's really up to you to decide whether being able to customize your checkout page for each membership area would make or break things. This next comparison is totally going to depend on one thing, whether or not you are already paying for and using Squarespace email campaigns. If you're already making use of Squarespace's built-in customer list and email campaigns feature, then you're going to love how easy it is with Squarespace member areas to email your members and see and manage all their subscriptions, memberships, and purchases in one place under your profiles panel. But for those using more robust email marketing software for segmenting and managing their lists, I personally love and recommend ConvertKit. Then it really makes no difference whether you go for Teachable or Squarespace member areas here, as both will rely on you setting up some sort of automation between the two softwares to keep your customer lists up to date. You do have the option of emailing students or members right inside Teachable, but I tend to use ConvertKit to keep all my newsletter style emails looking consistent. When it comes to customer service and support, I have only good things to say about both Squarespace and Teachable. Both softwares have always provided stellar support with super reasonable response times, so it's honestly a tie here. The only thing that moves the scales in Teachable's favor is that they've simply been around longer, so they've got a pretty hefty library of free online resources, making it a tad bit easier on their users to quickly find answers without having to send customer service an email. When a member logs into your membership area on Squarespace, you have a few different options for what their navigation menu will look like depending on what version of Squarespace your membership site is built on, including replacing the main navigation with membership area specific navigation, keeping the main navigation and just showing their membership options in a dropdown when they click on their account button, or hiding the membership area navigation altogether and just using links and buttons, including your membership area homepage layout, to help them get around. Same goes for Teachable. You can choose different home pages based on whether or not a user is logged in, or even choose which specific navigation links will appear to those logged in or signed out. So this is really one area where it's hard to pick a clear winner because both honestly do a pretty solid job of making membership areas easy to navigate for your members once they're logged in. One area where Teachable is currently dominating the membership site scene is their impressive interactive features. If your membership is just something that someone will log into once, download a workbook or two, read what's on your new private VIP blog, then these areas aren't so important. But if you plan to use your membership area for one-to-one group coaching, building community, or offering a course-style progression through your gated content, then this might weigh on your decision pretty heavily. If you're dreaming of auto-playing the next lesson or module as your member completes the previous one, having graded quizzes, a progress report both for you and your member to keep track of where they are at all the materials, ensuring course compliance, say if the content you're offering is part of continuing education where they will receive certifications or credits, sending automatic completion certificates and other actions triggered by specific milestones, like scheduling a one-on-one call with you at a certain point in their coaching journey, or setting specific dates for content to be released, aka drip content, which we talked about earlier, or approving applications to your coaching program prior to your member being allowed to check out, instead of just anyone being able to sign up if they aren't the right fit for your one-to-one or group mentorship style membership. Then Teachable is your best bet. You also have the option of turning on commenting to turn each page in your membership area into a sort of community forum where members can ask and answer questions. Currently, commenting is only available on blog posts in Squarespace member areas. So you've had a peek at the features and limitations of Squarespace member area versus a more dedicated LMS that is a learning management system like Teachable. So what's the final word? I'd say if you are building a very simple one-tiered membership area where all your members will be logging into the same space and accessing the same content or information no matter when they signed up, then Squarespace member areas would be perfectly fit for you, especially if that's where you're already hosting your website. It would also be perfect for anyone who has their heart set on a VIP blog as the focus of their membership. But if you're planning to use it for courses or coaching or extensive video or resource libraries, and you're in need of some more advanced interactive features to help you personalize each user's experience, then Teachable would be the way to go. I'm a Squarespace gal through and through, and I love the thought of everything from checkout to course completion happening right there on my own website with one less software to have to manage. And while Squarespace absolutely rocks when it comes to designing and building your website and quickly and easily setting up shop, it's not quite where I need it to be just yet in terms of hosting my own gated membership content. If you're ready to get started with either Teachable or Squarespace, you can start your free trial by visiting the links in the description below. But before you go and launch your new membership site to the world, you'll want to make sure that your website is set up to sell. I'd love to invite you to check out my most popular free training, a 60-minute on-demand webinar, which covers the website building best practices that you need to know in order to convert all those clicks into actual paying clients and customers and loyal members. I'll be sure to pop the link to that in the description below. And remember, if you found this video helpful, be sure to let me know by hitting that like button. And remember, for the best website building tips and best practices, don't forget to subscribe and tap the little bell button to be notified of when new content drops on my channel every single week. Wondering what to watch next? Check out these videos too.